Well, now that you've got your glamorous pinup makeup on and you've got your fabulous pinup hair ready to go, now we're going to teach you how to pose like a pinup. The thing that I love about vintage pinup posing is that it really accentuates a woman's curves. And you really want to, in every pose that you do, try and get yourself a great hourglass figure. And we're going to show you some good ways to pose. And it doesn't matter if you actually have an hourglass figure or not. We can show you a lot of fun ways to trick the camera into thinking that you do. Because part of being a glamorous pinup girl is showing your self-confidence and how much you love your curves. Because if you love them, everybody else is going to love them too.
Now that we've talked about how to pose your body, we're going to talk about facial expressions. Facial expressions are just as important as setting the mood of the photo as how your body is posed. It lets people know whether you're happy or sad or surprised. And if you've looked at any old pinup photos or drawings, a lady's face, now that you've had it all made up so that you can properly express yourself, you want to be able to make the most of that and really sell whatever's happening in the photograph. So, of course, the most classic cheesecake look is the cheesecake smile. So you want to really be confident and happy and show all of those different expressions of happiness with your face. So this is why you have really rosy cheeks and red lips, and you will have your eyebrows painted so that you can show the really big happy smile. So you want to make a big smile, and a good way to create all these different looks with your face too is to use the vowels. If you're uncomfortable in front of the camera, or you just need something to help you to trigger all these new poses, if you say all the vowels, it's going to move your mouth in a nice way, and it'll create all these different looks, from smiling to surprised and shocked and happy and sad. All of these will come with the vowels. So just go through them and say them out loud. Go, "Ay!" And you can see how that creates that nice big smile. And for the really excited one, you go, "Ee!" And then, "I!" which will help sort of create that surprised look. And then, "Oh!" which is, of course, the classic pinup surprised. You know, you can incorporate your hands into this as well, like, "Oh!" And then, "You!" will create a cute little bow mouth that's popular in the 20s as well. So I'll do those one more time. A, E, I, O, U. So that's a good way to get that sort of look. Now there's a couple of other looks that you can do with your face that are a bit more advanced, or perhaps easier for you. If you think about, you know, the bad girl 50s look, if you're wearing your jeans and you're tough and you're the girl at the drag race, you know, you can try some without using your teeth and without smiling, but it's more of a smoldery look. So that's a fun one to practice. And then there's the glamour gaze, and this is where you wouldn't be looking necessarily at the camera. This is that 1940s glamour goddess who's so beautiful she can't look at the camera or it'll break. So you want to sort of look off into the distance. There's your future right there. It's glowing, it's full of money. So that's another fun one to try. So these are all the looks that you can use just with your face. While you're doing the same pose with your body, you can really switch up a lot just by practicing your vowels and using all those different expressions. Really believe that the story is happening, and that'll help you to create all these different looks in a photo. Now that we've talked about facial posing and how to pose, let's actually do it. We'll get Amy to show you some basic standing poses. So the first one you want to do is just really simple. You want to be conscious of where the camera is, and then you want to go 45 degrees away from that, so you're getting a nice 3/4 body angle. This is nice. You want to keep your back leg straight, and then you want to bend that front leg a little bit and keep it really close to your other ankle. And then you want to twist at the waist a little bit so that your hips are still in line with this plane, but then you're twisting. It gives your waist a nice little nip in. And then you want to create some interesting angles to really accentuate your hourglass. So you want to take this hand and just place it right against your hip there. Don't put your hand right here because then it'll add a couple inches to your waist, and you want to really accentuate the smallness of it. So you put your arm down there, and then by putting this one up here, you get this really interesting shape. And there's a negative space that's created here by having your arm out that draws people's attention to the angle of your elbow, which really accentuates, again, your waist, and that's all part of that great pinup look. So then you've got this look. This is a good basic look. You can do a little variation with your arm. Switch it up that way. Have 2 hands up, 2 hands on your hips. All kinds of different looks that you can do like this. Another cute thing, and showcases off some great vintage lingerie, is to get your dress caught in the door of, say, an oven. Lots of pinup poses were very situational, so they'd be these sort of oops, and it just creates more things that you can do and creates more interest for the photo. So you can see how Amy's got that stuck there. It shows off her vintage stockings, which are really classic, and it just gives you a lot of different options there that you can do with that.
You might think looks kinda scary, all the bells are crying cause Amy's getting married. Go, go! Go, go, Amy, go, go! Go, go, Amy, go, go! She's a go-go kind of gal. Go, go! Go, go, Amy, 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 go, go! She's a go-go kind of gal. Go, go! She's a go-go kind of gal. Go, go! She's a go-go kind of gal. Go, go, Amy.
Now, we're going to share with you a very important pinup secret, which is if the way you're posing is comfortable, you probably don't look that cute. But if it's uncomfortable or even hurts a little bit, then you're going to look great. Thankfully for me, Bettina is going to show you how this works. So she's going to do one of the most iconic poses in pinup, which we all know from everyone's favorite pinup queen, Bettie Page, which is the kneeling cheesecake photo. So one of the things about this is that she's not actually going to sit down on her heels as you normally would if you were sitting down on the ground, but she's actually going to just lift herself up a little bit, where she's also getting quite a workout in the front of her legs. Anytime that you are working out a part of your body like that, it means that your muscles are tensing and that therefore they look a lot better. So do you need to relax for a second? We'll let her take a break as I explain the rest of the pose, and then we'll get her back into it. Now, the other thing you're going to notice in this is how she creates an amazing S shape. And you can see it's going to start up here, it's going to go all the way down, around, and then wrap right around to her feet. So Bettina is creating this great S, which is going to give her the idea and the look of an hourglass. All right, so you can pop back up and let's see that perfect pinup pose. And again, you want to use variations on your arms and your face when you're doing all these poses, because you really can get a wide variety of different looks from the same pose just by moving your hands and changing your expression.
Everything about my baby done got me so beguiled. I wanna shout it out when my baby kisses me. I wanna shout it out when my baby kisses me.
So we've shown you a few poses that you can use to accentuate those S curves. Now we're going to show you a couple little tricks that we have in ways in which you can cover up anything that you may not be comfortable showing in a photograph. One of those things for a lot of ladies is the belly area. So a great way to show off the assets that you love about yourself is to just choose to put them closer to the camera. So as you can see in Bettina's fabulous pose, she is leaning forward and she's showing her cleavage off to the camera. She's covering up her midsection, and she's also showing off her lovely legs. And in this photograph, what you get to see is her beautiful face, her fabulous cleavage, and her lovely stockings. And anything that she might be worried about or self-conscious about is just flat out not in the frame. And it's a really easy way to take what you love about yourself and show it off, and take things that you may not like so much and just take them completely out of the picture. Another thing we'd like to point out too, speaking of Bettina's gorgeous legs, is her seamed stockings. This is one great little wardrobe trick you can use to dress up anything that you might already have in your wardrobe. Seamed stockings give a great vintage look, and you can find them at tons of stores all over the place now. So if you've just got a regular little black dress that looks great, and you throw on a pair of these stockings and some fabulous hair, you're 0 to vintage in no time flat.
Well, for just one kiss, you know I'd walk a mile. I think the stars at night, jealous of my baby's smile. Well, everything about my baby done got me so beguiled. I say, hey, hey, need a man, hey, hey, need a man, hey, hey, need a man, hey, hey, need a man. I won't shout it out when my baby kisses me. Hey, hey, need a man. I won't shout it out when my baby kisses me. Hey, hey, need a man.
This is another great pose to accentuate certain areas and to hide other areas that you may not want to feature in a photograph. So with this pose here, you can highlight your great hair. It's a good one for cleavage. It's also a great shot for legs. And it hides your middle section if you're sensitive about that area. It also hides your bottom. So you're just putting all of your best features into the photo. The other good thing about this pose is with your legs tight together, you're not having any negative space in the photograph, which would detract from it. You don't want to have gaps or anything, because that's where the eye is going to go to. So keep your legs as tight together as possible, and then just create a little bit of difference, having one leg straight and one leg curved. And then you can create some variety with your arms. So you can have them both up, you can have them down, then you can create a little S shape by having one down by your head and the other down by your waist. So you can see the variety of poses that you can do just lying on your back.
Go, go! Go, go in, go, go! Go, go in, go, go! She's a go-go kind of gal. Go, go! Go, go in, 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 go, go! She's a go-go kind of gal. Go, go! She's a go-go kind of gal. Go, go! She's a go-go kind of gal. Go, go, Amy. Go, go.